You ever seen Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah.
I had anxiety. I watched it when I was like 7, and I had probably the worst panic attack of my life. And the D-Day scene, this guy's got like his guts hanging out, guy's picking up his arm, and I was like freaking out. I was like head under the blanket, like crying. It was terrible.
Here is a movie that I saw in theaters Monday night that you could have an anxiety attack from, and I'm sure a lot of people have. A lot of people think it's the scariest movie ever made. Down at I think it's Kiowa Theaters, every like Halloween season they show like old horror movies, like all the classics. The first one they saw this year was The Shining.
I like that movie a lot.
It's amazing.
This movie.
It's a great movie.
And on the big screen, like whenever I've watched it on the little screen so much, like on TVs so much, that it doesn't really get to me anymore. I saw it on the big screen again.
What?
It got me.
The sound, that's what I think would get. Not the
Yes.
screen, but the speakers in the theater, because it uses such
It's like you're
ominous
you're
sound.
drowning in.
I think my sound cut out on my headphones.
Yeah, just play with it a little bit.
These headphones suck, dude.
Oh, they're the worst.
It is
Okay,
like you're
they're
drowning,
working now,
man.
but my volume's so low that I could barely hear. But I can hear you guys like out of the headphones, just not in the headphones.
Hang on.
That's a little bit.
Anyway, the Shining.
Okay,
Man.
yep.
What a good movie.
It's on my top 10.
It's on my top 10.
Not top 10
Can you
too.
hear?
Hello. Yep.
Okay, good.
But what's your favorite genre of movies?
No, the way we go about that's wrong. Genres
Like
of movies
genres?
don't. The way we do genres of music is like the style. The way we do genres of movies
Is
is
the
like
plot.
the story.
Yeah.
Really, it's the style that determines the movies that I like more than anything else. Not necessarily the genre. Like, yes, I like sci-fi movies, but that's not. I don't like every sci-fi movie. Some
Mhm.
sci-fi movies are made like drama
Bad.
movies. Yeah, some.
Or like action, like Terminator. That's a sci-fi movie, but I mean, it's 100% an action movie.
Yeah, the first one could even be a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, but you can tell that James Cameron directed that movie. It's the style that defines his movies, not necessarily the plot of that movie. And it's the same thing with like Stanley Kubrick, who did The Shining and Full Metal Jacket.
Don't forget the moon landing.
Clockwork Orange.
Dude, Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah,
I need to.
about
He did
that.
the moon landing.
You're right. We're gonna talk about that, but yeah, it's you can tell the directors do it. Like Alfred Hitchcock, yes, he was the master of suspense, but that was more directly related to his style than just the plots of his movies.
I think instead of doing genre, doing it by director, I think that'd be a better way to do it.
that's
Because
more
like
accurate.
Quentin Tarantino movies, you could classify, Reservoir Dogs as an action movie
or a crime.
or a crime, but
movie.
it's unlike any.
Right.
It's a crime movie where they don't show the heist. It's a heist movie
And you
without
could-
the heist,
like
man.
Hateful Eight's a drama movie,
Yeah.
probably. Django's probably an action movie. Inglourious Bastards is probably
Action.
a drama action.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
guess what? That doesn't matter. The fact that it's Quentin Tarantino is what sells it.
Yeah, I'd say all those movies are.
It's the style behind
They
it.
feel like the
It's-
same
It's
genre.
the oversight behind it.
He's making a Star Trek movie, or at least he wants to.
Quentin Tarantino?
He said he wouldn't do it for his 10th film. He'd do it as like a side project, but he really wants to direct Star Wars, Star Trek.
That's funny.
It's pretty cool.
It is funny. Could you imagine them like, beam me up, motherfucker? And, like, just.
I doubt he would do that, though. I think Quentin Tarantino would have more respect for the way Star Trek is.
I think he'd make it his own.
Think so?
Do you think the Star Wars sequels would be better with Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not sure.
Dude, they're-
His take on laser guns would just be awesome. Because his take on he makes real guns look bitchin'. He makes them look awesome.
Yeah.
Imagine laser guns
Some
or
good
lightsabers,
action.
dude.
And he gets so triggered when people talk about how his actions, like, they're talking about
It's
his actions like
realistic.
this. Yeah, and they're
That
like,
amount of blood is
you're making
really
children
what happens."
angry and people violent. And he gets like, no. And he like gets mad at like interviewers. I've seen
Because
some videos.
interviewers are
They're
stupid.
You seen him
stupid. I
slap the
hate
cameraman?
media.
Yeah.
He went to get a Starbucks. He comes out and the guy's like, hey. He's like, what's going on here? What's going on here? Probably says it 15 times. He walks up to him and he slaps the camera and the
good.
guy's like, hit me. He's like, You know what, motherfucker? I wish I could, but I can't because you're filming. If I wasn't, I'd be whooping your ass right now. And then he just walks off. It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
His wife is so hot. He's
I
like
don't
so
know who.
not good looking. He's bald and long hair, but bald on the top
Yeah,
now.
but you know how he does it? He's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, and he's worth a lot of money.
That's true.
He's got a lot of bank.
Yeah.
Do you like Frank Darabont?
Yeah.
He was in.
But his best movie is not Shawshank.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Who
It
is?
is. It's
Frank
not the. It's
Darabont?
not the.
Frank Darabont is like,
Who's he playing in Shawshank?
he doesn't play. He's the director.
He's the director.
Frank
He's-
Darabont is a director mostly of Stephen King adaptations, like
So The Mist,
The Green Mile, I think.
The Green Mile,
Yeah, he did Shawshank.
Shawshank's
I have a
Stephen King.
Do you guys have a
he was involved
Snapchat
with The
for the
Walking
Basement
Dead.
podcast?
No, but we need to make one.
Someone shouted me out on something because a bunch of Cowboy Midland people have been adding me. I thought it was you guys. Now
Really?
I'm sketched.
It wasn't me, but you'll
I've
you'll
told
be
people about
shouted
you.
out by the Instagram here soon.
But it's all by mention. It's like added by mention, by mention, by mention. Like, what the heck?
Someone mentioned you.
Someone mentioned me, man.
That's a little bit weird.
That is weird.
Dude, Frank Darabont, he's a freaking good director. I love a lot of his movies. My favorite movie of all time is Frank Darabont.
See, I think The Mist is way better than your favorite movie.
Dude,
of all time.
Shawshank. Dude, have you seen Shawshank? right?
Mist?
Of course. Yeah.
Which one?
The,
New
the
one?
Frank Darabont one with Thomas Jane.
Dude,
I thought you meant the new one.
you
Like on TV?
Yeah, like the
No,
the
not
one where they get stuck in the like supermarket. They have the really shitty They have the really shitty like special effects. Of
I
the
think,
jungle.
I think we're talking about the
We might be
movie.
talking about.
yeah.
I think we're talking about the good movie, The Mist.
I think it's a good movie, but I think the special effects in it are dog shit.
Yeah, but they're not.
Yeah, I think the ending of it too is bad. They
The
all
ending-
commit suicide, but him,
the
and then
ending
he.
is so good.
I think it's
hate
good.
It bums me
It's
out, man.
it's terrible.
It's
and then
upsetting.
he's like, "Oh man."
It's terrible in the best way possible. At the end, he's just screaming. He's just on his knees screaming as he sees the military and all these
I think
people.
the
I don't
actors
know.
and the characters are so well casted.
They're so good. Frank Darabont
But
did such a good job picking those people.
dude, Shawshank is one of the most fulfilling movies. Dude, when you see freaking what's his name? Shoot, what's the old man's name? I don't know. But
In Shawshank?
Yeah.
When you see him hang himself, is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
when you see him hang himself, that's some of the freaking deepest. Like I watched that with my friends the other day, and they both cried because one of them
to it
cried.
so
One of them
many
cried.
times.
It's
It's
so sad.
He's like,
Because it's Brooks, and he writes
Brooks, that's his
Brooks
name.
was here, and then he
Yeah.
shakes the table and hangs himself. Dude, that's so.
I thought the saddest part was-
that's the, and when the other guy dies too. What's his name? Ah, shoot.
the guy they shoot.
Yeah, they shoot him because he knows about Elmo Blatch, and that
Yeah.
Andy Dufresne is innocent.
Yeah, and so they bring him out there. And why did
And
they keep Andy Dufresne there for so long?
Yeah,
I
and he
didn't
was there for
get it.
20 years or 19, and then it's so, you don't know if he's innocent or not because at the start of the movie it shows that he's like loading a gun and he gets out of his car and that's it, and you hear the ink spots playing in the background, which we love the ink spots, and it's just so fulfilling in the end to see both of them out in Mexico on the Pacific Ocean, and he's on the boat, and it's just, and then it just fades
is a
into the
good movie,
ocean.
man.
It's fulfilling after
It's
all
a
that
badass
depressing,
movie.
20 years of being in prison.
I would
Brooks
hang
dying.
myself the first week. Do I look like someone that would make it in prison?
No.
I'd
the-
show up and they'd be like, "Alright, you my bitch, come on." Like that'd be it for me. I'm skinny. I have glasses.
Would
You have a lot of time to get
the
made.
what's get you? What were what are they called in Shawshank? You know what I'm talking about. What's his name? He gets beat up by the guy who voices Mr. Krabs. he just gets beat up so bad that he can't walk anymore. He's like paralyzed. I forgot his name. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? They'd come after you in the laundry room.
Man,
like-
they'd come after my butt, man. They would too. I'd have to like.
And dude, and the guy who plays Andy Dufresne when he's like, you're gonna take what I tell you to take. And he's like, and then how he like reacts to it, like the acting's like so freaking
My
good.
favorite scene in that movie is when they drag that dude into the room the guards do, because everyone likes
Yeah,
Andy.
yeah.
He's doing like the guards' taxes,
Mhm.
and they bring him in there. They beat him so bad he's eating from a straw for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that
Like, you
guy.
just
That's
see
the
him.
guy I was
He
talking
runs
about.
out. He's like, no, clawing at the floor, and they just drag him in there and just pummel him.
Dude, that movie's just depressing in general, but it's
So
also
good.
fulfilling at the same time.
Yeah, it is. It's worth it. I haven't seen it.
It's amazing. Definitely one of the best movies of all
is,
time.
I think, the second highest rated movie on IMDb.
It's first. It's ahead of The Godfather. It has a 9.2. The Godfather
never
has
seen The
ahead of The
9.1.
Godfather.
Yes.
But
I've
you know
never
what's
seen it.
not, you know what it's not ahead of?
The Joker, but the Joker hadn't came out yet.
Joker sweeps the film festivals, man.
Joker's at 9.7, and Shawshank's
Yes.
number 1 with 9.2. Let me back myself up.
You know, Joker's gonna be good when the military was issued an incel attack warning
Yes.
at the movies, man. I'm scared to see it, man.
I'm going Saturday.
I'm so excited to
when's it
see
come
this
out?
Dude,
movie.
I'm going
It's coming out in like
Saturday.
4
What
days, 3
time?
days.
I don't know. I'll have to
supposed to be
find a
super good.
time.
It's
I'll
probably
text you.
gonna go late
I think me and
at
Tyler
night.
are gonna
We
go.
should
So
see it, bro.
come
Heath
with us.
Ledger.
I can't.
Heath Ledger.
Oh yeah, you
Heath
can
Ledger's
Saturday.
I'm
dead.
gonna go
I know,
after.
but
It's
I'm
Joaquin
probably gonna
Phoenix.
go
I might
like
go,
1
like-
in the morning.
Really?
It's gonna be as good as Heath Ledger. Joker.
Or
Yes,
just
it's gonna be.
whenever I can.
Because it's
I
not
might
like
go like 9.
that's already like crazy Joker. This starts as
People
normal
are
Joker.
scared of what this movie's gonna do to society.
For real? Is it that-
Yeah, it's.
that
Have you?
impactful?
We live in a society.
With them.
Okay, so Joker is at 9.4,
Is it
and
like
after
pointing out issues of
21,000
society or
ratings.
something?
Oh yeah, except it's
And-
really open and angry about it too, from what I've heard.
What is?
How Joker handles societal issues. I've heard it's pretty bloody, pretty gory.
Yeah, from what I can
And
tell.
a lot of people think that Joker's like misogynistic in it and like woman hating, and then
He's
other
not.
people are like, no.
I don't think he is. I think he's just sad. And
I think
lonely.
Joaquin Phoenix wouldn't be a part of something if it was that bad. I think this is going to be
Okay.
really.
I think
great
it's gonna
movie.
have. So you know how in the trailer he's like throwing the mask in the trash, and you see all these people in a mask, and he's going through them. I think it's gonna be like, from my understanding, people don't know he's the Joker. They just know there is one, and I think he's gonna commit some
heinous act.
on live TV because
Oh,
it
yeah.
shows he's like, when you introduce me, could you introduce me as the Joker?
I've heard at the beginning, it's like you're really sympathetic with this guy, and as it goes on, he just keeps doing worse and worse stuff, and you still understand it, but you're not so sympathetic. And what this movie, I think, what the goal is to not make you. It's to make you understand why villains exist.
Yeah.
It's supposed to make it reasonable because, really, when you look at the world, it's almost
I could understand
everybody
why
sucks,
like
man.
why like people do awful things. Like I wouldn't want to do any of it. Don't get me wrong, but like I get why like a kid that gets bullied every day and like have you seen like the Columbine kids? Have you seen the documentaries on them?
Dylan Klebold,
they-
Klebold and Eric Harris.
They oiled up the hallway, went nerd bowling with baby oil, and then threw them down the hallway like bowling balls, like often. And they would just like beat the shit out of them every day.
I think it was Maynard James Keenan from Tool who said he got to the point where he either had to be an artist, like a rock star, or a serial killer. I think there's something to that. I think everybody, like all these people, have a breaking point where they either go nuts and do something really violent and horrible, or they transfer it into something understandable as a glimpse into what is making this madness in society, like in the world.
Man.
Schools don't handle this
No,
very well either.
Schools
I think there's
suck.
some teachers do okay. I
Some
respect
teachers,
some
but as a whole,
teachers.
Some teachers do, too.
administration,
But the
counselors,
administration.
A lot of Huntington High
useless,
teachers, man,
dude.
they handle it well. Like there's I'm
I
in
like
a normal
teachers
English class
a
because I
lot.
didn't want to take AP Lang.
Mhm.
And it's a joke of a class. Don't get me wrong. We do nothing. But the girls in there's like a girl on parole and stuff. And the teacher, instead of just sitting there, doing whatever, he actually like is good. Like tries to help them out. Tries to get them out of trouble. Like a lot of teachers at my school, anyways, try to help people get out of trouble and do well.
Mhm.
It's crazy though. Bitches wearing an ankle bracelet in an English class.
But back to the movie. So
Nuts.
Joker's at 9.4, but with 21,000 views or 21,000 ratings,
What's it got on
21,838.
Metacritic, 70.
With critic rating,
Because the problem is with the critic rating is the liberal critics, well, not necessarily liberal. I think most critics are liberal.
Oh, yeah.
But the politically oriented critics denounce the movie because it's so
The metrics.
honest and candid.
Oh yeah, the Metacritic
However-
score is 66.
Yeah, because if you look at the bottom
It's on
ones, it's
30.
like it says like Joker's too on the nose and like it handles societal issues with like misogyny and all this. But if you look at the top scores, it's like this movie makes you think about things, and that's what a movie's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to tell you what to think. It's supposed to give you something to think about.
Mhm.
Or I think a good movie I think movies do that, but also I think a good movie can make you, instead of just giving you something to think about, like good action movies can make you feel in like the moment, make you feel suspense
Yeah,
going
action
through.
movies are just for
Any
fun.
movies,
That's
like-
just entertainment.
Well, like I don't know, even movies like what movie am I thinking of? Like Kill Bill, for instance. That action movie. I don't know if you've seen it. When she's like chopping people left and right, instead of feeling like, like, oh man, that's so cool. It's like, damn, this chick's really out for like it gets you involved in the story. It makes you see it as
Yeah.
like your, it's something
just
to you
pretty
instead of
nice.
just a story.
Yeah.
But so Joker 9.4. Shawshank is currently number 1 because Joker hadn't come out. 9.2. Number 2 is Godfather,
Part 1.
and then
Part
tied for
1.
number 3 is Godfather Part 2 and Dark Knight Rises, and those are the only
Dark
movies.
Knight, right? No, The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. Sorry, I don't know why I said Dark
Dark
Knight
Knight
Rises.
Rises is good though.
But they're all.
Not-
Those are the
Not fourth
only.
best movie of
Those
all
are the
time.
only
Yeah, not-
ones
definitely
above
not.
9. Those are the only ones above
You
9.
know why
And
all
5th
three of
is
those are the
12
top?
Angry Men.
You know how Godfather Part 2, and The Dark Knight are all up there? They're all crime dramas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised like
The Dark Knight is not a superhero movie, dude. That's a crime drama.
it is.
I mean, there's a lot of
It's
crime in
totally a crime
Shawshank too.
Yeah, it's
Murder, they're all murderers and rapists, and even though they don't seem like it, and like sex offenders, and
think the
that was
sex
back in the
offenders-
40s and 50s and 60s too.
I think the sex offenders definitely you can tell.
Oh yeah, because they're all like they all try to like rape Andy, and he can't protect himself by himself.
Well,
even though he
especially when
does a
there's,
very
like,
good job. of
Four
protecting himself.
dudes.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you
they're
just
pretty
have to-
buff, like too.
You'd have to like start hoarding the
Mhm.
soap, put it in a sock,